Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate that. So, I'd like to talk to you about Roundhill and YieldMax because they both announced that they're coming out with new ETFs. And Roundhill, I kind of feel like what my mom does, where they're finally doing something I wanted them to do, but now I'm just going to make snidey remarks about it because they could have been doing this the whole time. Like, they have literally they submitted the paperwork for these to be weeklies in the summer of last year, so I've been waiting for a long time. And so these are the tickers that they told us are coming out soon. It's for Apple, Advanced Money Destroyer, Amazon, Coinbase, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Nvidia, Palantir, and Tesla. Notice how there's no strategy. And I would have been the most interested in MSTW because, I'm kind of a junkie for anything MicroStrategy, which now strategy, but we got that going for us, which is nice, which honestly, I'd be the most interested in the AMD one with Amazon and Palantir. Those would be the three that I would track and see how Roundhill does compared to how YieldMax does. Because I'm assuming that these will yield less, have higher total return. So, better in the long run investment than YieldMax. Maybe. Who knows? That's where tracking comes in. So, they also announced earlier about UX, and I hate the name because in my industry, UX means user experience, and that's what it always will be for me. I also don't think it's a great idea to I don't think it's necessary in a portfolio to have this much diversification. You can just be in the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ 100 and just like that. I would rather be in something like SPMO, which does the S&P 500 momentum, than just trying to get into like nuclear energy or any of these weird things, because then you get over leveraged on random crap. So, that's really rich coming from me, being because I know I'm pretty leveraged on Bitcoin and AI stuff, but we're called bad financial decisions for some reason. So, YieldMax is coming up with QDTY and RDTY, and I think they're going to be interesting. They are going to wind up in YieldMite really quick, as fast as humanly possible, and we are going to track these together. But I did not buy SDTY last week. I will not be buying QDTY or RDTY, and the reason for that, at least not for now, I think YieldMax missed their opportunity to do something like at least having a portion of this fund and they're leveraged, or making it so that their 0 day to expiration is leveraged. Like, they could do it 2x of the SPY just by how they do their synthetic. That way, they're yielding more than Roundhill significantly. Like, if Roundhill has a 30% yield on XDTE, if YieldMax SDTEY was doing 40% and had more price appreciation and a better total return, then a lot of people would migrate over to SDTY. But I'm assuming it's going to be pretty close, and YieldMax is more expensive. So I'm not sure how excited I am about these. Also, not for nothing, but this is the silos that I have, I did my thinking, and this is how I want my portfolio to look like eventually. 25% of my portfolio should be in the S&P 500, 25% in the NASDAQ 100, 30% in Bitcoin, which is more than most people, but let's be real. I'm always going to have a lot of Bitcoin in my portfolio, and the Russell 2000 is only 5%. And that's because it's small cap and it's more volatile. So it should be less of a percent than the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. Besides, I have all the Bitcoin, which is very, very volatile. And the AI and semiconductor is supposed to be 5% of my overall portfolio, and then just like 10% of random picks. So over everything, my trash panda, my trash polka pile is actually kind of for January, which I actually just filled this out yesterday, so whatever. But I don't need to be adding any more trash to my portfolio. It's actually kind of aligned to what I want in the future. And I don't need to be investing any more into the AI stuff. Basically, I need to focus on getting way more into the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 in my portfolio. So after July, when my 0% credit cards are paid off, that's what I'll be doing for the rest of the year. Just continuing to invest in these broad market funds just so that my portfolio is more resilient. I'm using the broad market funds as a hedge basically against my Bitcoin. So, and I think that these silos will get me to where I want to be going with getting my income where I need it to go, and just resilient for the future. I did call my mortgage company today, and they will be raising my rates. And I called the insurance company to make sure that they're not going to double bill my mortgage company, and they said that they won't. But I also called a different insurance company, and they sent someone out here to take pictures, and they'll be giving me a quote soon. So basically, for 1 year, my mortgage is going to go up to $1,200, and then next year in April, it should be going down to $800. So I also realized today that I misread my auto loan. I don't know how it happened or why it got written down the way it was, but my loan is not ending in March 2026. It's ending in March 2028, which is different. So, but it's still 5.15%, so I probably won't be paying it off quicker because it is only 5.15%, which is less than the margin in Robinhood. So it's basically just leverage until such time when, like, if I lose my job, I'll probably just pay it off. That way I just don't have that obligation. But I would much rather work my portfolio up so that if I lose my job, I could just pay off my trailer, because my trailer is more expensive and the APR is much higher. So, goals. We have goals. I also reached out to the property management to ask about the fire, and they haven't gotten back to me, so I'll get back to y'all about that. So, today in Financial Philharmonics, we have Trading Laughter for Ledgers, and I was inspired by a Reddit post I read, and basically they had this vision of once they reached a millionaire, they would have, the houses and the grills and the cars and everything, but then they reached $1 million and they realized they were actually pretty lonely. So that's like a cats in the cradle situation. And Too Much Love for Misty was a request. It's a jazz song about how much I love Misty. And then I'll Buy More YieldMax is a Broadway musical type number about how I must have every single YieldMax and my income portfolio is complete. But you know what? I'm going to buy more. So anyways, what are your thoughts on these? And are you going to go into QDTY and RDTY, or are you going to hold off and just observe before you go all in? And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.